Hey guys, Mean here. So I've noticed a lot of new players coming to Sea of Thieves lately, and I thought it might be a good time to make a video on some of the first pieces of crucial information you'll need to get started with the game, along with some neat little tips and tricks wherever I can squeeze them in. I recorded myself joining a server, stocking up my ship, and setting out on a voyage. Let's have a look at it together and I'll explain things more along the way, alright? Every time you join a new server, you'll spawn inside of the tavern of an outpost. There are several different outpost islands throughout the map, and you'll find yourself spawning on different ones. You should get familiar with them. On every outpost, there are cosmetic shops. One where you can buy clothing, one for equipment, and one for weapons. Inside of each one of these, there's an NPC you can talk to browse the available cosmetic items you can buy. There are also NPCs on the outpost representing each trading company in the game. There's the Order of Souls, the Gold Hoarders, and the Merchant Alliance. You'll notice that every trading company has one of these little tables called an emissary table. This is a system that you can't use with each respective trading company until you've hit at least level 15 in reputation with them. But they can still be useful to you as a new player, as these wooden little ship figurines indicate how many other crews on the server are currently representing this trading company. You'll also find one of these emissary tables representing the Reaper's Bones company. The Reaper's Bones doesn't have any NPC on the outpost islands. Instead, they have an island of their own called the Reaper's Hideout. The last emissary table is in here, inside of the tavern, and it's for the Athena's Fortune. The Athena's Fortune is an endgame pirate legend company, and I don't really want to spoil anything. I'd rather leave that for you to figure out on your own as you progress in the game and eventually become a legend. Scattered around the outpost island, you'll also find these barrels. The barrels contain resources that you can use to stock up your ship with. Resources such as cannonballs, fire bombs, chain shots, different types of fruit that you can eat to heal, bait for fishing, and planks that you use to repair your ship. Your ship always spawns anchored out by the docks of the outpost island. On your ship you'll find additional barrels for you to store resources. These red ones are for cannonballs, chain shots, and bombs. This barrel right here is for planks. And these two are for food. Now these barrels will be located in different areas on the ship depending on what ship type you're using. I'm currently on the smallest ship in the game, which is a sloop, for 1 or 2 people. In order to start a voyage, simply go to one of the NPCs representing one of the trading companies, talk to them, browse what they have to sell you, and purchase one of these voyages down here. After you've purchased the voyage, you'll find it in the menu that says quests, then go into voyages, and it'll be right there. In order to then start the voyage, you'll need to go back to your ship and use this voyage table. Again, this will be located in different areas on the ship depending on the type of ship you're using. You propose the quest, go into the same menu again, select the voyage, and vote for it. Now, my voyage started immediately when I voted for it because I'm a solo player currently on this server. Would I have had other crew members, they would have also needed to vote for the voyage to start. The voyage then gives you maps, alternatively riddles for specific islands, in this case Snake Island. And this is the voyage. This is what you need to do to find the treasure that you can then go back here and sell to the NPCs that you purchased the voyage from. Back here, on the sloop at least, again different locations, is the map table. If you zoom in on the map table, you can see the names of the islands on the Sea of Thieves. This means that I can now mark islands on the map where I need to go for my voyage. You can then drop and raise your sail using this rope here. It's available on both sides. I prefer the right side, but that's just a personal preference. Drop the sail, and you'll start moving. You'll notice that there's an indicator of which direction the wind is blowing. If you use this rope, you can angle your sail so that the wind blows into it, and you'll go faster. Now, if you can't get the wind in your sail, because let's say you're facing the other way, I'm just going to do a quick anchor turn here. If you're unable to get the wind in your sail to the point where it bulks, it is always better to turn the sail the other way, directly against the wind. I know this makes no logical sense, but this is not real life. This is a game, and it's just how it works in this game. When it comes to sorting your resources on your ship, you can either click with your mouse to withdraw or deposit resources in and out of the barrels. However, a quicker way of doing this is to be pressing, in my case, F, or maybe your X button if you're on Xbox, or whatever your interact/use key is, to quickly take them out like that. Once you've opened a barrel and you're in the menu like this, you'll see that Q and E allows you to switch left and right between these two pages. What you can then do is, and this is something you'll get faster at once you get more used to it with more experience in the game, but I'd recommend starting to practice this as soon as possible because it's really the most efficient way of doing things. What I'm gonna do now is press F, Q, and then spam F. I then pressed X to close the barrel, and all the things are now in there. You see how fast you can do that? That's something you should definitely start practicing. I highly recommend it. We then of course have the ship's cannons. Now these can obviously be used to fire cannonballs, fire bombs, blunder bombs, chain shots, but on top of that, you can also fire yourself. You can launch yourself out of the cannons, which can come in real handy if you're just on your way to the next island on your voyage, or sailing about looking for other ships to interact with and you happen to pass by an island. Looting for resources is something that you should really never stop doing throughout each session of Sea of Thieves that you play. You can never really have enough cannonballs, food, or planks, and so what you can do is simply launch yourself out of the cannon. Don't worry about your ship, just make sure that your ship is heading in a direction where it's not going to collide with anything and crash into a rock or something like that, and then simply launch yourself towards the island. And once you make it there, you can start looting barrels. Oh, just be wary of these skeletons. They're most likely going to spawn when you reach the island. I recommend always bringing a sword when it comes to visiting islands where there might be skeletons, or whenever you might need to cover a bit of distance by doing this. What I just did there is called a sword lunge, and whenever your ship is far away enough from you, you'll always have one of these mermaids spawning in the water. Clicking it will let you return to your ship. In this case, I actually crashed into a rock. GG's. What a great opportunity to demonstrate to you how to repair the ship then. Make sure you grab some wood. Simply hold left click, or I suppose the right trigger if you're on Xbox, to repair the holes using the planks. Then using the bucket, which I highly recommend that you keybind, by the way, if you're on PC, both the bucket and the planks, instead of having them on this radial wheel, there's a couple of pretty important things that I highly recommend that you keybind. The bucket and the planks are definitely the first two. Once your ship is repaired, turn out from the rock that you so graciously crashed into. If your ship gets stuck like this, a really good thing are these harpoon guns that you can use to pull your ship in a direction. There we go. These harpoon guns also allow you to do things such as harpoon turns, where you can sail in a straight line, but harpoon a rock or an island or maybe even another ship and use it to make a very sharp turn. Like so. This can be extremely useful when trying to evade other ships attacking you or trying to get a sneaky angle. The sword lunge is a very crucial move in Sea of Thieves. Now the way that you do this is by simply holding your attack button, left click or right trigger on controller, and you'll perform a lunge like this. However, if you first hold block or parry and then start holding your left click or right trigger, notice how I can still move around while charging the lunge up. If I then, as you saw me do there, jump right at the last second of the animation, right when you're about to thrust the sword, it'll lunge you way farther forward. And this allows you to glide with momentum from the lunge for a bit in water, and is excellent if you want to try to board other ships or just get onto islands, or maybe, as I just did, get back to my ship from an island. And I recommend doing this whenever the distance is short enough so that you can, instead of using the cannons, as other players will hear your cannons firing, and this can give up your location. Sea of Thieves has so-called world events. These events are PvE events, like this one right here, that is currently active on the server I'm on. There are different types of them, and I would recommend that you just go to them and explore what they are yourself. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, basically these events are really worthwhile if you want to try to get some gold, and if you want other content to do rather than just completing voyages and digging up treasure on islands. On your ship, you'll find an ammo chest, which you can use to replenish the ammunition in your chosen ranged weapon, and an armory where you can choose which weapon you want to use. You have 2 slots for weapons. It is not uncommon that people, especially people who like PvP, will double gun, meaning they don't have a sword. However, like I stated previously, when you're doing PvE, and especially when you're new to the game, I highly recommend pretty much always using a sword along with either the pistol or the sniper rifle. Alternatively, the blunderbuss, if you're killing skeletons on an island, as up close this thing can pretty much one-shot skeletons if you hit all of the pellets. However, on range, it's quite useless because of the spread. It's a shotgun, obviously. And that pretty much concludes this video. I just wanted to quickly get something out there for all the new players who might really need this information when starting out. However, there are tons more information about this game that I've acquired over the 2 years or so that I've been playing it. Sea of Thieves is a game where strategic thinking and game knowledge is just as, if not more, important than having good aim and quick reflexes. If you liked the video and want to see more of these little tips and tricks videos for Sea of Thieves, hit the like button and let me know in the comments if you have any tips or ideas. Thank you for watching.